So those who are sitting here, how many of you are from PSIR background? Good. And others are thinking of going for PSIR and a bit of confusion in mind. Those who are from PSIR background, do they also have this confusion whether to go for PSIR or not? They should not have this confusion, because at least you have studied for 3 years. You know a bit more about. हाँ, वो उसमें PPT पड़ी होगी. Okay, so I hope most of you are done with your GS, and by this time you have come across this thing that what is the way to choose your optional. The first consideration you should give is that you should, if you have a background in that subject, it's very preferable you should stick with that particular optional. If you have a background, if you do not have a background, you're coming from engineering background or from some other background, so few common things which you can keep in your mind is that the linkages the subject provide with GS, your interest in that after going through GS. Okay, so you can develop your, you can only, and it's very difficult to objectively answer this question, sir, how to come across that whether this subject has my interest or not. The best way to do is that first you should cover your GS. After going through all the subjects on GS, you can relate a bit with one or the other subject. Let's say it's geography, it's sociology, it's international relations. So based on your interest and based on your background, these should be the two criteria to decide your optional. Result should not be the criteria to decide optional, that maximum result is coming from this particular optional. हाँ जी, आई गेस वही वाला है ना. मेरे ख्याल से रोहित ने मेरे वाले पर भी भेजी होगी, 115 वाले पर. हम्म, मेरे को ये याद नहीं, क्योंकि कल ना मुझे रोहित ने भेजी, तो मैं उस पर चेक कर लेता हूँ. हम्म, ये भेजी है ना रोहित ने, राहुल डॉट पुरी एट द रेट रावत आई एस वाली पर. इस पर भेजी है रोहित ने? नहीं, रोहित ने इस पर भेजी नहीं है. हाँ भेजी है, फाइनल ओरिएंटेशन. मैं तुझे फॉरवर्ड कर दूँ टू विनू, VINU ना, बस ये ओपन कर दे मुझे. Okay, so selection should not be the criteria. That last year lot of selection has been happened in this particular subject, so you decide to go for that optional, because this keeps changing in UPSC. There is no fixed criteria that every year maximum selections will be from this particular subject. It's you who will going to score the marks. It is nothing like this, that this is a good optional or this is a bad optional. ठीक है, done. Done. So there is nothing like good or bad optional. All optionals are equally good. It depends in which you can score. Okay. So you have to analyze in this perspective that where your interest lies, and you think that yes, you can score well in this particular subject too. So let's say if we consider the last year's result, maximum selections were from PSIR for sure, but there are 3 selections from physics too. So there are 3 selections. 3 students do get selected by taking physics as an optional. So if you think that you are very good in that particular subject and you can score above 280, so it's always preferable to stick to that particular optional. Okay. So rather than say asking these questions, which optional should I take? It's very difficult on my part to give you this answer, that which optional you should take. Better you should ask why PSIR. So if you'll keep your questions from the subject of PSIR, if you have your queries from PSIR, I'll better able to answer this question, why you should go for PSIR. Why to go for PSIR? Maximum linkages with GS. It will help you a lot in essay writing too. So these are the two things which is very objective. Yes, you can see the syllabus of PSIR, and parallelly you can compare it with your GS. So you will see linkages of PSIR with almost every part of your GS. So if you are going for PSIR, you do not need to study IR and internal security separately for GS. Okay. So when we use the word for what the word we are using for this subject is political science and international relation, PSIR, right? What is the difference between the subject of humanities and the subject of science? Why we are using the word science? for political science. Basically, it's a subject of humanities. Why we are using the word science? You're from PSIR background? Okay. So I was expecting the answer from those who are having PSIR as a background because 3 years you have studied political. So I hope you were. हाँ जी, शेयर कर दूं इसे? Science deals with empirical data. Okay. Any other thing which separates science from humanities? Okay. Why we say physics, chemistry, biology? These are science subject, while psychology, sociology, pub-ed, pol science, they are humanities, and we are using word science here. So Prabnu, rational is humanities too. When we say science, science in science we have laws, and laws are universal. Newton's law, it will not change. Okay, anatomy of heart will not change. It will going to work same everywhere. So in science we have laws, in humanities we have theories. Okay, and theories do change in time and space. Okay, theories keeps changing, but laws will not change. So humanities have theories and science have laws. Like we have theories in international relation, theory of idealism, theory of liberalism, theory of realism. Okay, theories do change. Might be right now you think you are idealist, and later you will turn into realist. Like theory of justice given by Plato. So the concept of justice which was prevailing at the time of Plato. So Plato comes up with the theory. And the most contemporary theory is Rawls' theory of justice. The idea of justice given by Plato at that time and the idea of justice given by Rawls is totally different. So what we have in this subject is theories. And in humanities we have theories, in science we have laws. This is the difference. Then why we are using the word science for political science? Because political science is the endeavor is to go for systematic study. Very rightly you said, in science we go for systematic study. In this subject also we are going for systematic study of ideas. Which ideas we are going for systematic study of idea? Systematic study of political idea. So what political science is? Systematic study of politics. And that's why we are using the word science. It is not science in traditional sense. Only reason why we are using the word science is because here we are going for systematic study of things. Okay, that's why we are using the word science. The roots of this subject lies where? In philosophy. Its roots lies in philosophy. And that's why first thing we have to discuss in this subject is about philosophers. Okay, who is philosopher? In general, many of the students, even if having the background, they have a lot of difficulty to understand the ideas given by philosophers. Many keeps coming to me, sir, philosophers में problem है. Philosophy क्या होती है? जहां पर साइंस खत्म होती है, where science ends, endeavor of philosophy starts. What science can't answer? What science can't answer? Who tries to give the answer for those questions which science cannot give you answer? Philosophy. ठीक है? What you can see is science, materialism. What you can't see becomes the ambit of philosophy. Do you believe in soul? मानते हो? देखिए कभी? But मानते हो? क्यों मानते हो? Have you seen soul? No, but you do believe there is something called soul, which you can't see, is explained by philosophy. Okay, so roots of this subject lies in philosophy. We consider Plato as philosopher. Plato is philosopher. Aristotle is philosopher. Machiavelli is philosopher. Why you are saying these as? Are you philosopher? You, any one of you who consider yourself as philosopher? नहीं, नहीं हो ना philosopher. बनने की कोशिश भी नहीं करनी. प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है? यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन जैसे ही हम पॉलिटिकल साइंस प्लेटो पढ़ते हैं, हम वी ट्राई टू बिकम व्हाट? फिलोसफर. यू आर नॉट हियर टू बिकम फिलोसफर, यू आर हियर टू बिकम ब्यूरोक्रेट. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. आप फिलोसफर बनने नहीं आए, तो सब्जेक्ट को ऐसे नहीं पढ़ना कि फिलोसफर बन जाए. हु इज फिलोसफर? कैन यू डिफाइन हु इज फिलोसफर? नो. नो. One who gives idea. One who gives idea is philosopher. Like Plato gave the idea of justice. First time who gave the idea of justice? Plato. Marx is seen as philosopher. He gave idea of what a ideal state, how to create, that is a communist state, stateless society idea. Difference between a philosopher and ideologue is once you give a politically motivated idea, it becomes ideology. This is difference between philosophy and ideology. Who gives only idea? Once that idea is politically motivated with the objective to acquire power, that idea becomes ideology, fascism. Hitler was not a philosopher. Hitler, will consider Hitler as ideologue because Hitler gave idea to acquire power. So once you give idea to acquire power, it becomes ideology. Are you here to become ideologue? No. So you need to be politically neutral because your aspiration is to become bureaucrat, not philosopher, not ideologue. ठीक है, ये बहुत बेसिक बातें हैं. प्रॉब्लम क्यों आई कॉलेज में? बिकॉज you have not, basic understanding was missing. So there's a difference the way you have studied political science in your college days and the way you will study political science for UPSC. Here everything you have to do from UPSC perspective. Keep this thing in mind that you are not here to become subject expert, you are here to learn the subject from UPSC point of view. UPSC कितना पूछ रही है. So Plato पे thesis नहीं करनी है. Now who will do research work on Plato and dedicate life to study the works of Plato? He will be, or he or she will be scholar. Are you here to become scholar? नहीं, तो बनना भी नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आती है? जैसे ही आप सब्जेक्ट पढ़ते हो क्या ट्राई करोगे? स्कॉलर बनने की. और क्या ट्राई करोगे? फिलोसोफर बनने की. Those who will aspire to become philosopher and scholar can't be bureaucrat. Because here you have to focus on what? Science and tech also. Here you have to study what? Social issues too. Here you have to study economics also. Here you have to study environment and ecology also. So try not to become what? Subject expert. Try to learn the subject from UPSC point of view. This is the difference. So giving idea, a politically neutral idea is philosophy. Giving idea with the aspiration to acquire power is ideology. Gandhi was a philosopher. Gandhi was a philosopher. Gandhi philosopher नहीं है. But Gandhi, हम as a philosopher we study Gandhi, Indian political thought. Gandhi was not a philosopher. There's a debate. Was Gandhi a philosopher or Gandhi was a saint or Gandhi was a psychologist who understood the mass psychology of Indians? Now, who will, the people who have used ideas of Gandhi to acquire power? When you will use ideas of Gandhi to acquire power, it becomes what? Ideology, Gandhism. Once you use ideas of Marx to acquire power, it becomes what? Marxism. So ism becomes what? Ideology. Marx philosopher tha, but when someone has tried to use his ideas to acquire power, it becomes what? Ideology. समझे? तो ये difference है. So, ideology and philosophy, and roots of the subject lies in philosophy. So they are philosophers, and those who have dedicated their life to study the work of the philosophers, they are scholars. So we will criticize these philosophers from the point of view of whom? Scholars. अपने opinion नहीं है हमारा. Was Plato, there is a very important question. Was Plato first fascist? Whether he was or not. Let's say you will see Plato. Plato was not a fascist, might be you believe. But there are few scholars who have criticized Plato as first fascist. That roots of fascism lies in the works of whom? Plato. So you will use the name of that person to criticize Plato. So it will not be your opinion. You will need to write the opinion of the scholars because they have given their life to study the work of these philosophers. समझ आई बात? Philosophers, ideologue और scholars में different. And you are here not to become any of these. You are here to become bureaucrat. ठीक है? क्यों बनना IAS? There are few who have attended my GS classes. I don't want them to answer. So those who are attending my lecture for the first time, they should answer this question: why you want to become an IAS? हाँ, बैठ के आराम से. Pleasure. Okay, fine. You think that you will derive a lot of pleasure by serving the people. Can't, what's your name? Harish, can't you serve people in any other way without becoming an IAS? Then why IAS? Why you're wasting time preparing for IAS? Go and serve the people. You're a graduate, and I hope you can serve in one of the village of the country teaching the students. Why you want to become an IAS? Hmm. Very good. Very good. Okay. Any other reason or the same reason? Please sit. Huh. Very good. Anyone who wants to add anything into that, why you want to join civil services? And don't look towards me to answer this question. At least ये आपका खुद का आंसर होना चाहिए. So please do not look towards me and never come to me till the time you will reach your interview stage. So please tell me why I want to become an IAS officer. And it's not about IAS, it's about civil services. Might be you will end up joining Indian IPS but not police service as a postal service. Okay? Ready to join Indian Postal Service? Right now, all of you are here considering which post in your mind? IAS, the magical words. Why you want to join services? Let me tell you. You all are here to join services to acquire power. तो झूठ झूठ मत बोलो, ठीक है? So you are here to acquire power. Power acquire करने आए हो आप. The two basic concepts of the subject of PSIR, one is state and other is power. The moment I'll say, the board will tell you, question पूछते हैं PSR students से. I'm not telling you something which is out of context. During the whole course, I'll not tell you anything which is not relevant from UPSC point of view. Everything you will do with me to qualify your exam. So board do ask this question to the PSR student. You will be well prepared to answer. Never be on the back foot if someone will ask you, oh, you are here to acquire power. Because something negative is being associated with the thought of acquiring power or not. यार बहुत खराब बात है power. Politics तो corrupt लोग करते हैं, है ना? Middle class values goes against what? Acquiring money and power. Right? So the moment board will ask, oh, so you want to join services for power? I say no. But the reality is, you are aspiring to acquire power. India wants to become superpower. तो इंडिया सुपर पावर बनना चाहता है, आप पावर एक्वायर करना चाहते हो, तो बुरा क्या है? फिर इंडिया वांट्स टू एक्वायर परमानेंट मेंबरशिप इन यूएनएससी. व्हाट दिस विल गिव टू अस? फिर so when India is aspiring to acquire the permanent membership, why you can't aspire for power? You can't do anything. The question is not this. It's not bad if you want to acquire power. The thing is means. Gandhi ko yaad rakhna hai. What means you are using to acquire power? You are aspiring to acquire power through legitimate means. It's totally fine in democracy. You want to acquire power through ballot. You don't want to acquire power through bullet. And who is aspiring to acquire power through bullet? Naxals. And that's why they are terrorists. But you are aspiring for power through legitimate means. So an open competitive exam. You are not going with a gun in front of the board, give me 200 marks. You are trying to prove that you have the intellect to handle the thing. So one thing is means, and second thing is what you will do with power. And what you will do with power? Empower. ये याद रख लो, ये मंत्र है आपके लिए. What you will do with power? Empower. You can't empower without you being in power. क्या करोगे पावर से? एम्पावर करोगे. कैसे करोगे? पहले खुद तो पावर हो. That's why we use the word women empowerment. We don't use the word development. Can men decide what is development for women? No. Men can't decide development for women. Okay, that's why we are aspiring to go for what? Empowerment. You can't empower anyone without you being in power. And that's why you are aspiring for power. And it's not bad you are aspiring for power. Everyone's aspiration is power. World politics is power politics. पूरा paper 2 इस पे based है. World politics is power politics. India wants to become superpower? Yes. Who will make India superpower? ये आंसर बाद में दूंगा, ठीक है. Who will make India superpower? Onus falls on us, and you can't make India superpower till the time you are not empowered enough. So we need power to empower. Empower whom? The last man standing in the society. Gandhi's vision. ठीक है. Answer one more question so that you can realize that right now, after completion of your graduation or might be post graduation, and knowing a bit about this subject, and after reading the newspapers and all, the kind of thinking or the kind of intellect you have developed till this time is just the perceptions you hold, not the realities. Understanding of this subject will give you a lot of clarity about the world politics. Okay. UPSC preparation is about three things. Three C's. Modi ke three C's hai na? Commerce, connectivity, culture. Your three C's is content, consolidation, and compilation. Compilation is the last part, last step of your preparation, which we call answer writing. Do not try to jump to the last step just the within a month of your preparation. It will take time. It will come to you. Okay, this skill you will acquire slowly with time. Right now, you do not have content. Once you have content, you need to consolidate multiple revisions. And then comes the last step of compilation in 200 to 250 words. To give you a better clarity of what I am telling you more objectively, let's say if I'll ask you right now to write on the issue of global warming. Can you write few words on global warming? ग्रीन हाउस गैसेज हैं, कुछ कुछ लिख लोगे? हाँ तो करो. If I ask you to write pollution or population, one of the biggest menace of the present century, can you write? For sure you can write. If I ask you to write a bit on women empowerment, can you write? I hope you can. Right? A bit more subject specific, if I ask you that the importance of United Nations for the world, can you write few things about this? You can. Let's say a student who is in school yet, a 12th class student who has 11th and 12th, person has done a bit of pol science, and a student who has just done the graduation, they can also write on the same topics. Probably in future, you will have better content to frame a better answer on this question, on the same question. Yes. So that's what I'm telling you. In UPSC, it is not about writing wrong. There can't be right and wrong. You can't write wrong. Even today, you can't write wrong on pollution. Even today, you can't write wrong on women empowerment. With time, you will improve. So that's why do not jump into the third step of your preparation, writing excellent answers. You can't write. These are misnomers, misperceptions. Might be you have developed by going through the interviews of the toppers that I started writing answers from the first day of my preparation. Yes, the person started writing answer, but person was writing crap. ये नहीं बताया बस उसने. If you will write today, you will write what? And you yourself will say after 1 year क्या लिखा था और मैं सर से लड़ रही थी कि मैंने बहुत अच्छा लिखा है. Because we are emotional, because it becomes what? Something which we have constructed. तुम्हारे emotion attach हो जाते हैं हमारे आंसर से. But if you will read the same answer after a year of your preparation, ठीक है, करके देखना ये activity. So you will realize that how much you have improved with time. Right? So for the first few months, just listen. First, develop the understanding of the topic. Have the content first. Your answer on Plato will improve after the completion of your syllabus, because then you will be able to link so many things and you will be able to impart a lot of knowledge in that particular question. Every next lecture will give you more clarity about the previous one. Can't give you the whole clarity in just few lectures. It will take a lot of time. It is incremental learning. Things are too connected. Okay. So this thing you will develop with time. As I said, you can't write wrong. What you will write is, might be you will start with average answers. Then your answer writing will improve. You will start writing a good content, and with time you will reach to the level where you will score well to qualify mains, and that's what we call excellent answers. For this, You can't start writing excellent from the first day. For this, first you have to write average or below average. Without writing, you can't reach to that stage. But that time will come with the time. So पहले दिन से ही आंसर राइटिंग के पीछे मत पड़ना. थोड़ा सा पेशेंस के साथ पहले समझो बातों को. Like if I ask this question, again GS student should not answer. If I ask this question, what do you think is the biggest security threat for India? क्या लगता है सबसे बड़ा सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट हमारे देश के लिए कौन सा? नेबरिंग कंट्रीज, नाम भी बोल दे स्पेसिफिक, डर क्यों रहा है? पाकिस्तान, चाइना? You want to change or you want to accept the or you want to give the same answer that China is the biggest security threat for India? Very good. The biggest threat, the most biggest threat, the most prominent threat. What you think is which one? Terrorism, very good. Corruption, cyber security, China only, poverty, like हाँ हाँ बहुत टाइम है हमारे पास. हाँ. ठीक है. लोकेश कह रहा है हिंदुत्व आइडियोलॉजी, योगी आ जाएगा. ठीक है. Now, PM Manmohan Singh said in 2006, the biggest security threat for the country is Naxalism. Who said this? The Prime Minister of India. Can you counter this by saying no, Prime Minister is wrong? At least you cannot say PM is wrong. And reiterated by Modi in 14 and recently in 17, the biggest security threat for the country is Naxalism. हम क्या मान रहे थे? टेररिज्म, चाइना, पाकिस्तान. बट प्राइम मिनिस्टर क्या कह रहे हैं? नक्सलिज्म. सो व्हाट वी होल्ड is not the reality but the perception. By reading the newspapers, we think terrorism is the biggest security for the country, or China, Pakistan are the biggest security threat, but the reality of the country is that the biggest threat is Naxalism. Now, Naxalism is not the problem. Naxalism is a symptom. It's an outcome. It's an outcome of what? क्यों आया नक्सलिज्म का इशू देश में? It's an outcome of underdevelopment. So the biggest security threat for the country is underdevelopment. आप पाकिस्तान, चाइना कह रहे थे. अब maximum funding, maximum money we are spending to tackle China, Pakistan. Reality is we should use maximum money for growth and development, because underdevelopment is the biggest security threat and Naxalism is the offshoot of what? Underdevelopment. Now, what is the biggest reason for underdevelopment? Why we are not able to go for inclusive growth? It is regional disparities in India. Fruits of development has reached only into the hands of few. Haves have fetched more benefits out of this kind of growth. Since liberalization, inequalities has risen in the country. So, what is the biggest reason for regional disparities and inequality? Corruption. Who said corruption is the biggest threat? Lecture सुना होगा मेरा, पता है मुझे. ठीक है. So the biggest security threat is corruption. आप चाइना पाकिस्तान सोच रहे हो. And who has done corruption in India? Bureaucrats. So who is the biggest security threat? And you are aspiring for? फिर आप ब्यूरोक्रेट बनने आए थे, पता चला आप तो थ्रेट क्रिएट करोगे देश को. आप सोचते थे डेवलपमेंट करेंगे और आपको आज पता चला अंडर डेवलपमेंट हुआ किसकी वजह से है? ब्यूरोक्रेट्स की वजह से. फिर सो हु हैज डन करप्शन? पॉलिटिशियंस, ब्यूरोक्रेट. सो द बिगेस्ट सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट इज चाइना, पाकिस्तान और पॉलिटिशियंस, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स. Corrupt politicians and corrupt bureaucracy. So who are the biggest threat? Those who are in power and corrupt. They are biggest threat. So that's how you will learn the realities of the country. You will learn the realities of the world politics. Okay, you need to understand the subject from UPSC point of view so that you can frame right answers with the right vocabulary. For example, you are reading a lot. I'm sure you are reading your newspapers at least from last 1 year or so. पढ़ रहे हो newspapers? नहीं पढ़ते हो, कोई बात नहीं. I'm sure all of you are well aware of this event, that 9/11, what it was? in the Twin Towers in US came under attack. Who is responsible for this particular attack in US, that is attack of 9/11? Who is responsible for this? Osama bin Laden. Al Qaeda, the organization, he was heading the organization named Al Qaeda. What is the objective of Al Qaeda? पता है? नहीं. Al Qaeda सुना सबने है. Do you think a UPSC aspirant need to know what is the objective of Al Qaeda? Do you think anyone will going to ask you to write about this organization Al Qaeda? No. But you should need to know what exactly is the objective, because you are a UPSC aspirant and you need to understand the dynamics of the politics and the political dynamics of the region, because Al Qaeda is a threat for India, and anything which poses threat to India, you need to understand that. Now this was done by Al Qaeda, right? And after the attack of 9/11, what was the response of US? US started a war against whom? Taliban. Is Al Qaeda and Taliban both are same? They're different. What is the objective of Al Qaeda and what is the objective of Taliban? PSIR पढ़ा है ना कॉलेज में? ये बात बताई किसी ने? ये बात यूपीएससी के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये डिफरेंस है. Studying PSIR during graduation and knowing PSIR from UPSC point of view. Without knowing this, you cannot understand the political dynamics of the region. And recently, I'm sure all of you are well aware of this event, that recently US has went for withdrawal. Taliban has come to power. This will going to change the political dynamics of the region or not? Yes, India's response to that. And there can be a question in your mains. Okay, na? This is how you need to prepare your PSIR. So when we say political science, it has three parts. First is theory. Second is this subject I am talking about, comparative politics. And third is international relations. Okay, theories, comparative politics, international relations. If you see your syllabus, part A, paper 1 and paper 2. Part A and part B. Part B is IGP, Indian government and politics. It has total linkages with your GS, polity, Indian constitution, understanding of Indian constitution and important social issues comes under IGP. Okay, it will help you to prepare your GS paper 2. Okay, paper 1 is Western political thought. In thought, we will study about philosophers, starting from Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli, Hobbes, Locke, Mill, Marx, Gramsci, Hannah Arendt. All they are philosophers, because we are saying they have given ideas which are not politically motivated. There is a question mark on this, because many have criticized Plato for what? That Plato's Plato has talked about what? Philosopher king. Those who do not have background, you can ignore. Plato has talked about what? Philosopher king. And the criticism of Plato is what? That he himself wanted to become philosopher king. So if he has given an idea with the objective to become philosopher king, how you will see Plato? Philosopher or ideologue? Ideologue. If you will see Plato in this light, with this lens, that Plato has given all his ideas with the objective to acquire power, the moment we will analyze Plato in this perspective, Plato becomes what? Ideologue. Okay. If you will say no, Plato never had any such aspiration, Plato will become philosopher. Plato will look to you as a philosopher or ideologue, depending on how you are seeing. So we have Western political thought, then we have Indian political thought, then we have theories in this. What are theories? What is philosophy? Idea, which is not politically motivated. What is ideology? Idea, which is politically motivated. What is theory? Explanation of idea. Once you systematically Darwin's theory of evolution. What is theory? plate tectonic theory. What is theory? Systematic explanation of idea. Once you are systematically explaining your idea, it becomes theory, theory of justice. Now the justice is idea. Who has given theory of justice? Plato. How? Plato has tried to systematically explain his idea of justice. Ye hai justice. Then in the contemporary times, Rawls has tried to explain his idea of justice. Explanation of idea in time and space becomes thought. इसको thought कहते हैं. What is thought? Explanation of idea in time and space. प्लेटो के टाइम और स्पेस में ये आइडिया प्रिवेलिंग था, प्रेजेंट टाइम्स में ये आइडिया है. सो दिस explanation of idea in time and space becomes, let's say you come up with your own idea and you start explaining your idea. It becomes the part of what? Thought. Okay. So this is one of the idea. What is justice? So there are theories of justice. So Plato has given his theory, Aristotle has given his theory, and in the contemporary times, the most important theory is Rawls' theory of justice. So what is the idea of justice according to Rawls? What was the idea of justice according to Plato? So in this subject, what in the first paper 1 part A, we have thoughts, we have theories, and we have ideologies. We have ideologies. Now when I am saying justice, what is justice? How you will provide justice? Because the endeavor is to create a just state. State where what prevails? Justice. Do you think we are able to create a just state in India? नहीं, हम कर पाए हैं अभी तक? Are we able to create a just state? नहीं कर पाए. Are we able to create a just state? Because the endeavor is to create what? Just state. Read the, anyone who remembers the preamble? Tell me. What preamble stands for? Out of justice, liberty, equality, what comes first? What comes first? Justice, liberty, or equality? So endeavor is to first create what? A justice, even if it will lead to compromisation of what? Equality. And that's why we can give reservation. Because the endeavor is to create just state. Because Aristotle said that injustice can lead to revolution. तो आज भी एरिस्टोटल के आइडियाज रेलेवेंट हैं या नहीं है? एंड दैट्स हाउ यू हैव टू स्टडी योर PSIR. ठीक है ना? आप पेपर 2 लिखते हुए एरिस्टोटल को कोट करोगे, बिकॉज एरिस्टोटल सेड all reasons for revolution are injustice, and you can still see left-wing extremism in India. So you can directly quote Aristotle writing the answer on left-wing extremism. Plato ने कहा था, Plato said, I just told you the biggest threat for India is corruption, and Plato said the biggest threat for the biggest reason for the downfall of Athens is corrupt politicians. तो Plato तब बता गया था. रेलेवेंट हैं आइडियाज या नहीं है? ठीक है. 3 kids, A, B, C. And there is 1 flute or 1 toy. एक ही टॉय है, 3 बच्चे. A is saying, I have nothing else to play with, so this flute should be given to me. मेरे पास कुछ और नहीं है खेलने के लिए. B is saying, I know how to play flute. ये बजाएगा तो आपको कान बंद करने पड़ेंगे. So B is saying, I know how to play flute. So this flute should be given to me. C is saying, I made it. So this should be given to me. मैंने बनाई है ये फ्लूट. पेड़ पे चढ़ा, लकड़ी तोड़ी, सब कुछ करके. It is me who has made it. Whom you will give this flute? Whom you will give so that 3 feels justice is being done. किसको दोगे? तरस आ गया आपको और वो बजाएगा तो आपको कान बंद करने भागना पड़ेगा. If you will give it to A, don't you think it is injustice who has done all the hard work and you are giving it to A just because he has nothing else to play with? He went all the way, climbed tree, came down, has put a lot of hard work to make this, and you are giving it to A. Who is stopping A to go and make it? Then B को दे दोगे, किसी को दे दो, तीनों ही रोने वाले हैं. Means if you will give to anyone, other two are going to cry hard and they will say what? Injustice. It is not easy to have an idea of justice, how you will have a just state, because Marx said, how will have a just state? Equality, absolute equality. सबको equal pay दे दो. This will lead to what? A just state. Communism. You want absolute equality or you want equality of opportunity? And that is the belief of whom? Liberals. And the belief of the Marxists is absolute equality. So the idea of justice of liberals and Marxists is different or not? Yes. That's why they are theories. Law नहीं है ये. Law of justice नहीं है. क्या है? Theory of justice. समझ में बात? ठीक है ना? आइडियोलॉजीज, कौन कौन सी आइडियोलॉजीज है हमारी? लिबरलिज्म. इज्म लग गया, आइडियोलॉजी हो गई. सोशलिज्म, देन फेमिनिज्म, देन सोशलिज्म. मार्क्सिज्म को एक रख लेते हैं, बाद में करेंगे डिफरेंशिएट. बहुत एवरीवन विल नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस. देन कम्स एनार्किज्म, देन कम्स गांधीज्म, देन कम्स फासिज्म. सब इज्म हो गया, आइडियोलॉजीज हो गई. All have given their ideas to acquire power. Let's say there is a race. What liberals will say? क्या कहेंगे liberals? Everyone should have the equal right to participate in the race. Boys and girls also should have equal right to participate in the race. So they will demand for what? Equality. सबको equal rights दे दो रेस में भागने के लिए. Do you think? So this is their belief. What socialist will stand for? How you can expect equality just by giving equal rights to participate in race? Because boys have more physical strength. So girls should be there needs to give a edge to whom? First. Second thing, according to them, few are having better diet. Few are having better diet. Few will arrange coaching for them. So first, provide equality of what? Opportunity. First, you need to make sure everyone should have equal diets. Everyone should be on the same position before you will put them into where? Race. ठीक है? ये किसका बिलीफ हो जाएगा? सोशलिस्ट का. So what they will demand for? First, give adequate resources to all, and then conduct this race. So first, resources to be distributed equally. Then only it means that you are conducting a right event. Okay. So first, give adequate resources to all. Feminists will demand for what? Girls should start the race 50 meter ahead, or they should be allowed to finish the race 50 meter before. More, because girls and boys have different biological capabilities, so they should be given some special preference. This will be the demand of feminists, right? What anarchist will stand for? That's why no one loves anarchy. Anarchists will say, start race from wherever you want and finish the race wherever you want to. कहीं मर्जी से भागो, कहीं मर्जी रुक जाओ, रेस खत्म. This is anarchism. Gandhism will believe in what? Let's hold each other's hand and finish the race together. Concept of सर्वोदया. कोई कंपटीशन ही नहीं होना चाहिए. सब लोग एक दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ो और रेस एक साथ खत्म करते हैं. एंड फासिज्म विल से व्हाट? रेस हो गई, दिस पर्सन हैज वॉन द रेस, एंड इफ यू विल क्वेश्चन, शूट यू. दिस इज फासिज्म. These are ideologies. So fascists will say, this is your winner. You will ask, when this race took place, shoot the person. Anyone who will question the authority, shoot the person. This turned into what? A fascist state. ये ideologies हैं. So what you have in your paper 1 part A is thought, theories and ideology. Then it is IGP, Indian government and politics. What you have in paper 2 is comparative politics, theories of international relations, concepts of IR, and India and the world. Our ties with the region, with the countries of the region, and our engagement with the major powers and the players. Okay, this is what comes under your paper 2. So if these concepts, these things you think are of your interest, then you can think of going for PSIR. Before I tell you more, if you have any specific questions to ask, you can. Okay, आप अपने क्वेश्चंस पूछ लो पहले. हाँ जी, go ahead. Hmm. Hmm. I can't answer you this question for the time being. Second, you don't need to know this for the time being. Third, हाँ जी, that will come later. All three. ठीक है? Right. हाँ जी. With time you will learn. It's a journey. It will take months before you will exactly understand how you need to study your newspaper from UPSC point of view, from PSIR point of view. And if you have this notion in your mind that this subject specifically, let's talk about PSIR, it's too dynamic. So just remove this notion from your mind. This is again notion you are holding, that dynamic is being dynamic. If a subject is dynamic, it will going to create problems for you. No, in fact, if a subject is dynamic, it gives you more scope to fetch more marks. It is something like this. Because anyhow, you have to keep yourself updated with current affairs. Okay. So in the things which are dynamic, you can have an edge to fetch more marks. Only thing is, wherever you can link it with the core, wherever you can quote philosophers, you should do that. And in this subject of yours, many times you have to quote whom? Gandhi. Okay. We'll criticize almost all the philosophers except Gandhi. Gandhi is beyond criticism. We can shoot Gandhi, we can't criticize Gandhi. Okay. Only the difference is, let's say you are writing something on Indo-Pakistan in GS. There you do not need to quote about whom? Scholars. कि राजा मोहन को कोट नहीं करोगे आप जीएस करते हुए. मेंस लिखते हुए you have to. This is the difference. Opinion of scholars. Otherwise, dynamics of Indo-Pak will not change. History, the how our ties has evolved with Pakistan will not change. What you will study in GS on Indo-Pakistan will not change. Al-Qaeda and Taliban in GS will also not change. But in mains, in optional, you have to quote about whom? Scholars. Same about IGP also. Exactly same. Okay. And vocabulary you will get in the class. Everything you will be. I always try that you should have a one shot solution for your optional. You don't have to refer so many sources. So everything will be compiled, and the endeavor is to be compiled in your class notes itself, so that in the end you just have to rely on class notes. You don't have to refer multiple resources. One standard textbook I'll recommend, and that too I'll tell you only to read when. Otherwise, most of the things I ensure that you should get in your own handwriting while during the discussions in the class. ठीक है ना. माइट भी शुरू में आपको लगे सर बहुत ज़्यादा लिखवा रहे हो, बट ज़रूर लिखो, क्योंकि इन द एंड वही आपको बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प करने वाला है. ओके. Yes, it is. It's not notion, it's reality. But vast does not mean waste. Okay, or vast does not mean that you should not go for this. Let's say you can't go for an optional in UPSC seeing the size of the syllabus. मान लो सिलेबस एक पेज का है बट वो इतना नॉन इंटरेस्टिंग है, आपको मजा ही नहीं आ रहा, मार्क्स ही नहीं आ रहे, क्या करोगे? बिकॉज you are here sitting in the class or thinking of giving your precious years of your life for UPSC with the objective of what? To have to study the subject because of the love of that subject? नहीं ना, या तो यूपीएससी क्वालिफाई करना है ना. सो थिंक विच सब्जेक्ट कैन हेल्प यू टू क्वालिफाई यूपीएससी रादर देन थिंकिंग यार ये वास्ट है और ये कॉम्प्लेक्स है. विच एवर विल हेल्प यू टू फेच मोर मार्क्स, think in those perspective, think in that perspective. Vast does not mean that if the syllabus is bit vast, it has maximum linkages with what? GS. It will give you edge there. It will help you a lot. Just see your last year, the essays, the topics of the essays which has been asked by UPSC, and essay requires a lot of specific information. You need to write a lot, and that too, your data should be enriched while writing your essays, and PSIR gives you edge in that aspect too, because two topics every year are coming from the domain of PSIR. Okay. So I don't think so. Just if the syllabus is bit vast, you should not think of going for PSIR. This should not be the criteria. इस criteria को हटा दे बिल्कुल. ठीक है? हाँ जी. Any other question? I can ensure that you will have the best of the understanding of your content, and I'll give you the best of the notes. No worry. Any idea about paper one? That how I teach about paper one? You can ask my previous year optional students. They will give you a better clarity. No? Mhm. That you can ask from the office. They will give you the information about that. I don't have the idea when is the last date. They keep giving admissions till the last date. That is the 16th June. Huh, if probably they will deny you for offline, but probably online you will have, because offline, I guess, once the seats will be full for offline, then probably you will not be able to take admission in offline mode. हाँ, मैं देख लेता हूँ अभी. मैंने उन्हें कहा था फर्स्ट आई विल टेक द क्वेश्चंस ऑफ दोज हु आर सिटिंग हियर. ओके, सो योर डाउट इज जेन्युइन, व्हाई यू शुड. सो फॉर दिस, इफ you can discuss this thing from those who are already doing optional with me. And no one, even if you will take, no one can ensure your selection. ठीक है, selection process is very different. Let's say, ये भी clarity ले लो. Let's say you understand Plato in and out, but that year there is no question on Plato. You understand about the UN and its dynamics in a very, you have a very proper understanding of everything, but in the end you just have to write 200 words, and might be you are not able to compile on that day. I can't come and compile it for you there, right? Having understanding of the topic and finally compiling that topic into 50 words are two different challenges. What I can help you in? Understanding. What I can help you in? Help you to practice, to frame in the best possible way. But those 3 hours you have to perform on that day. Your mental status, your capability to handle the stress. You know? So selection, understanding of the content, and final selection are two different things. Any other question? There is no linkages like this, that if you are going for PSR, they will give you an edge for if you have opted IFS as your first preference. Yes, for sure, you can say because IFS is my first preference, that's why I thought to go for PSIR to have a better understanding of the world dynamics. But does not mean, let's say you are from literature background and you have opted for IFS as your first service preference, this will going to hamper your, this will going to anyway going to impact your final selection or they will going to give the board will going to give any consideration that you are coming from literature background, you can't be a right candidate for IFS. It is not like this. Yes, for sure, if you think that I want to keep IFS as my first service preference, you have total inclination towards that service. If you will study PSIR, you have a better understanding than others, but that will not help you to score more in interview in any way. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं होता. And I think right now you are thinking on these lines, but these things will come very late in your preparation. ठीक है, और कोई क्वेश्चन? क्लियर है PSIR लेना? ठीक है. And those who have PSIR background, whether you take it here or not, वो relevant नहीं है, selection important है. So if you have a background in PSIR, do not think of any other option. ठीक है, और कुछ मत सोचना, कंफ्यूज मत होना. हाँ, now I'll take your specific questions, online students. Any other question, offline students? नहीं? Yes, it is totally fine to switch to an optional if you are from economics background, because you know better how well you have studied your economics during your graduation. Like there are many engineers who are here, civil, mechanical, and they ask, is it fine? And I always answer on these lines, you know better how well you have done your engineering. If you can qualify from taking civils as an optional, do that. But कोई भी engineer इतना confidence दिखा ही नहीं पाता. Okay? So you know better how well you have studied your economics. I'm not the right person to judge that. Okay? Percentage of PSIR as a syllabus, around you can say 60 to 65%. देखो ये था लास्ट ईयर सिलेक्शन रेट, जस्ट देख लो, बट ये क्राइटेरिया नहीं है कोई भी सिलेक्शन का. देखो एक मराठी लिटरेचर से भी हुआ है, राइट? सो इफ समवन इज वेरी गुड इन दिस, आई विल रिकमेंड दिस मराठी लो यार. फिजिक्स से 11 हुए हैं, मुझे 4 याद थे. PSIR से 166 है. संस्कृत लिटरेचर, you can take this also, because might be this one is you. ये कोई क्राइटेरिया नहीं है. 166 में तो PSIR ले लेते हैं, उस 166 में आप नहीं हो. If you are not good in that optional, if you do not have an interest, you are not going to be in that 166. Probably you will be in this one. If you can really, if you have a very strong background in this particular subject. So first focus अपने interest पर रखो. Attempt is 2020. These kind of questions, Sarthak, I'll give you my number. You can ping me on my WhatsApp. Probably I'll not able to reply immediately, but within 2-3 days, I'll handle all your queries. So these kind of things you can ask me later. When is the right time? Entire syllabus will be taught by me. Yes. A bit of topics can be. Don't worry about that. That is my responsibility. How to deliver the content in the best possible way. Okay. Yes, it is totally fine to switch the only online classes. No worries, it will not going to make any kind of impact. अच्छा, 12 months enough before, ये किसने पूछा? मैं किसके randomly I should answer? हाँ, तो randomly I should answer. अच्छा, name A है. A 12 months enough before pre to get single digit rank. अरे बाप रे, ये 5 साल बाद भी आ जाए तो भी बहुत है. हाँ, 12 months enough. I will start from scratch from reading NCERT from June. No one can predict your rank A. That depends entirely on you. As I said, what I can help you is to build the best of the understanding of the content. Please do not discuss about ranks or ensure this rank. Give us in writing. I can't do all these things. Okay? मैं खुद का ना rank ले आता, single digit rank. हाँ, सिंगल डिजिट ए है, ठीक है ना. तो जो ऐसा कह रहा है, आपको अश्योर कर रहा है ऐसा सिंगल डिजिट रैंक, वो झूठ बोल रहा है आपसे. ओनली यू आर कैपेबल एनफ टू ब्रिंग दैट, ठीक है ना. दैट टू विद टाइम एंड स्टिल. तो अभी रिजल्ट क्या चल रहा है, इंटरव्यूज खत्म हुआ है, सो रिजल्ट इज अबाउट टू आउट. आप किसी से पूछ लो, एनीवन कैन विद श्योरिटी टेल मी आई एम गोइंग टू स्कोर सिंगल डिजिट रैंक. एक एस्पिरेंट ढूंढ के ला दो. और जो एश्योरेंस दे रहा है मेरा रैंक आने वाला है, उसका नहीं आने वाला लिस्ट में. और जिसको लग रहा है यार दोबारा प्री के लिए तैयारी करना है, माइट बी दिस ईयर्स टॉपर. if no topper can tell you before pre also that I'm going to qualify pre this year. अभी आपको बहुत कुछ सीखना बाकी है इस प्रिपरेशन में, परसेप्शंस होल्ड कर रहे हो आप. Let's say you have already scored, you are already a selected candidate. Okay, last in your first second attempt you got, let's say, 600 something rank. You already have a rank, you are already into the services, but you will go for next year also because aspiration is to go for an IF, the better services. At that point also you will be not sure that this year pre probably I'll be able to qualify pre or not. इसकी भी श्योरिटी नहीं है, ठीक है ना. पिछली बार प्री हो गया तो इसका मतलब नहीं इस बार भी हो ही जाएगा, because it depends on those 2 hours, your mental status, one question here and there, okay, you will be out of the list. So ऐसी बातें नहीं सोचनी है प्रिपरेशन करते हुए कि रैंक आ जाएगा तभी मैं प्रिपेयर करूंगा या करूंगी, ठीक है. प्रिपेयर, कीप, गिव दिस फीडबैक टू योर माइंड. Those who are prepared, those who are starting their preparation, just telling you as an elderly advice, nothing else. Those who are starting their preparation with the complete thought process of getting selected into UPSC will going to suffer the most. Those who are here and they are thinking to prepare to learn, they will be in a better state of mind whether they get selected or not. ठीक है. सो नॉलेज एक्वायर करने के हिसाब से पढ़ो, सिलेक्शन के लिए मत पढ़ो. सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस का पार्ट है, हो जाएगा, होना होगा तो. इसको और ऑब्जेक्टिवली समझना है. देखो, 2 तरह का मोटिवेशन होता है, पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव मोटिवेशन. You want to serve, you want to serve, you think once you will be in power you will be able to better serve, and that's why you are aspiring for UPSC. Even if you will not get selected, I'll have that much of knowledge that I'll be able to give a bit better to the society. What kind of motivation you are holding? Positive. Now you are preparing to acquire power so that you can revenge. IPS बनने दो, फिर बताता हूँ. इस थॉट से बैठे हो यहाँ पे, सिंगल डिजिट रैंक ही आना चाहिए, तभी मेरी प्रेस्टीज एस्टीम सेटिस्फाइड होगी. ओके, मूवी भी बनी है इस पे, शी विल रिपेंट वन डे. ओके, marriage proposal been rejected, now it has hurted your ego and you are thinking IES is the only thing which will give my esteem back. What kind of motivation you are holding? Because let's say you are selected, these are very strong, sometimes more strong than positive. यहाँ तो सर्व ही करना है, यहाँ तो उसको हर्ट करना है IES बन के. She will repent one day. So you are selected. Somehow you find that person also on social media. You met that person. देखो मैं IES बन गया, तुम भी IES की वाइफ होती. हाँ, पर्सन इज रिपेंटिंग ऑल्सो, ये भी हो गया, तो ऑब्जेक्टिव तो अटेन हो गया ना. नाउ व्हाट यू विल डू यू थिंक यू विल वर्क फॉर द सोसाइटी, गो टू एंड झारखंड कैडर इज गिवन टू यू where you are ready to suffer in the heat of the sun to work better for the society? Do you think you will do all these things? No, because you started your preparation with holding negative motivation. And let's say you have worked very hard and not able to get selected, will you able to take your revenge? No. So which kind of students commit suicide and go into depression after not qualifying UPSC? Those who start with the negative motivation with only objective of securing what? Rank. And rank is not in your hand, let me tell you, because n number of factors are there. Best of the brains many times I have seen not able to qualify. Okay, so do not think only about selection. Prepare. You will be more relaxed. You will do it in a better way and probably you will get selected if you will prepare holding positive motivation. भाई मुझे तो 3-4 साल पढ़ना है, मैं तो पढ़ने के लिए आया हूँ. नहीं भी बना तो क्या होगा, पढ़ तो लिया ना 4 साल, इतना कुछ जान लिया, अलकायदा तालिबान का डिफरेंस तो पता चल गया. फिर ये वरना मुझे नहीं पता चलता अगर मैं प्रिपेयर नहीं करता तो. ये बात समझो कि सबसे बड़ा थ्रेट तो पता चल गया ना सोसाइटी के लिए कौन सा है, क्या है? करप्ट ब्यूरोक्रेसी. ये बात नहीं पता चलती अगर आज ये सेशन नहीं लगाया होता. इस तरीके से प्रिपरेशन करो, आप बेटर फील करोगे और सिलेक्टेड भी हो जाओ, शायद सिलेक्ट हो जाओ, ठीक है ना. बट यू विल डू समथिंग, यू विल डू मच बेटर विद योर लाइफ आफ्टर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी, दैट आई कैन एश्योर यू. इतना मैं एश्योर कर सकता हूँ. मैं रैंक सिलेक्शन एश्योर नहीं कर सकता, ये जरूर एश्योर कर सकता हूँ. यू विल बी अ बेटर पर्सन एंड यू विल डू मच बेटर फॉर योर सेल्फ एंड फॉर द सोसाइटी आफ्टर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी. ठीक. I have background in math, 12 months enough to get a single digit rank. I have answered this. Strategy of PSIR can't be shared within 2 hours, though I have given you the overview how we are going to take your optional forward. Okay. PSIR, how much portion of PSIR? 70% is static, 30% is dynamic. How lengthy is the syllabus? Length is not the criteria to choose optional. Mentorship does help. Yes, you will learn from my failures. You will not do the same mistakes. ठीक है ना? During the syllabus, after syllabus, I'm during the syllabus. क्या लिखा है ये? During the syllabus? हाँ, पढ़ो ये क्या लिखा है? हाँ? During this last line, during the syllabus? नहीं, सेंस नहीं बन रहा ना? चंदन, if you are listening, please come in the class. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन लेते हैं, पूछते हैं उनसे। चंदन क्या लिखा है? अरे वाह, ये क्या लिखा है? लास्ट लाइन ड्यूरिंग द सिलेबस। दो दो सर को दो। नहीं नहीं, ये क्या लिखा है? ड्यूरिंग द सिलेबस, नॉट आफ्टर सिलेबस। आफ्टर द कंप्लीशन नहीं, मैं क्वेश्चन इज ड्यूरिंग द सिलेबस कवरिंग, नॉट आफ्टर सिलेबस कंप्लीशन। सिलेबस कंप्लीट करने, हाँ हाँ, मैं समझा नहीं इसका मतलब क्या है। अच्छा अच्छा, है कौन ये कालीन भैया? ए यार, recommendation for dynamic part of PSI are my notes and classes and newspaper reading. ठीक है, हाँ जी, any other question? Is the duration 5 to 6 months? Keep this thing in mind, like 150 classes. If you do not have a background, it will not going to have any kind of impact in any way. One of the most this optional at present, engineers are choosing PSIR a lot, so there is no need to have a background. Okay, neither in philosophy, neither in PSIR. Don't worry at all. We'll start from the scratch. I'll give you all the understandings. Okay, hard copy of Focus magazine. These kind of things you can ask later from the office. Classes will be held that probably at Barakhamba branch. हाँ जी, हाँ, optional PSIR. That we'll discuss later. Answering in yes, the answers will be different. As I said, you need to quote about whom? Scholars. Only difference is this. You don't need to muck up. That's why the word science is there. With lot of understanding, you will able to frame your answers. It's not I should not say this, like if you compare it with history, there you need a bit more cramming. There's comparatively, there is less cramming in PSIR from other subjects of humanities. Ideologies will remain same. Who are, as I said, who are ideologies? Ideas given to acquire power. No, there will be no weekend classes for optional. Classes will be only on the weekdays, and every week there will be 5 to 6 classes. Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday. Challenges are same for all the optional. You have to work very hard. Okay, it's not specific for PSIR. For UPSC also you have to work very hard. Again, if anyone is telling you just by taking a casual approach you will able to qualify, it's not going to happen. You all know what you are entering into, right? So be prepared to work very hard. Don't worry, I will translate the, if I'll give any quote in Hindi in the class, I'll translate in English also. Okay. So the entire module will be in English only. I do understand there will be many who do not understand Hindi. Entire module will be in English. All the notes, everything will be provided. All the understanding I'll help you to build in English only. For me, if you'll ask, might be I'm old school and I always prefer offline. But if you think that time is the consideration for you, if time is not the issue for you, you are preparing for, let's say, 25, offline is always better than online. You will better able to interact. But if time is the constraint, you are working, then I'll recommend you to go for online classes. Okay, it is like you can interact the way you are interacting. You can switch on your webcams, and yes, stop typing it now. You can switch on your webcam and you can directly interact. That will be better. So the way you will interact right now, similarly you can interact during the classes, and we'll have a group also, a separate group for PSIR optional that will be active. Even after the completion of the batch, I'll keep posting important updates, important current affairs regarding PSIR in that group, and you can raise your doubts, any queries on that particular WhatsApp group. Okay, so that group will remain active even after the completion of the module. Okay. Yes, Prabnur, please switch on your webcams and interact. Very good morning, Ji. You are prepared. You are going for 2024 pre. So then I'll recommend you to join this batch so that you can start writing your mains answer from November onwards. And one more thing, yes, this batch will get finished around mid of December or end of December. But the new test series will start from mid of November. So you will start writing. This test will be like a complete professional test series. It will be a 16 test series. 8 tests will take place before your pre and 8 after pre. You will get the feedback. You will go for test discussion, and you will get the model answers also. Okay, for every test. First, you will get your feedback, and then model answers will be given to you after that. Okay, so that you can understand where the scope of improvement is required. Every month there will be 2 tests. Let's say December 2 tests, Jan, Feb, and March. So 2 tests I'll take every month. April and May you should focus on your pre, and after those who will qualify pre, they can, or even if you will not qualify pre, I'll recommend that you should write all your 8 tests even after pre. That will keep you engaged and it will help you to be mains ready for next year. Okay, so this 16 test series will start from mid of November. Okay, many students who will join this test series who are not in the batch, this test series will be open for even those who are not going for PSR with me. It will going to cost them. For you guys, it will be free. Okay, it's a this test series is part of your optional only. Okay, any other question? So Prabnur, if you are going for 2024, this is the best time for you. Okay, and attend online. Or कोई question? नहीं? You can online students. Do you have any question to ask? Shreya, fee structure you can ask from the Rao's office. A little similar in both. Vishal, if you are from law background, I'll suggest you to stick to law. If you are not from law background, I'll suggest you to go for PSIR. Class duration will be 2 hours daily, 5 or 6 days a week. Anji. Okay. You are not doing GS from here? Okay. You will have at 5:30. You are going, your GS is offline or online? Uh, Shreya, I'll first make you understand and then I'll dictate the notes in the class. You don't have to worry about these things. अभी मैं बता रहा हूँ कि इस वेबकैम ऑन करके डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन पूछ लो, फिर चैट बॉक्स में टाइप करे जा रहे हो. इज दिस एनी इशू इन योर वेबकैम? फिर इवन इफ इट इज ऑनलाइन, हाउ यू विल रीच 5:30? अच्छा, यू विल सिट देयर ओनली एंड वॉच द लेक्चर. हाँ. So recorded तो वैसे, even if you will attend, let's say you are taking offline, you will be allowed to watch the recorded video. Recorded video will be available for even for the offline students also. Let's say last 15 minutes, you will going to miss last 15 minutes, that you can watch last 15 minutes on the recorded video. You will have the, even if you will take offline, you will have the option to attend online also. Okay. If you are taking online, you will not have the option to attend offline. But if you are taking offline, you have the option to attend online too. Yeah. हाँ जी. Mm. You can think of that. You can think of that. You can attend the orientation session of the teacher of PubEd, and then you can decide, seeing the syllabus structure, if you think is of more that is of more interest, because here the focus is more on state power, justice, world politics, IR, theories of IR. There, these things are not there. Their focus is more on administration. है ना? Here, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, GS paper 4, ethics also. Okay, international relation, much more we're going to do in detail. So you do not have to touch IR and internal security for GS paper 3. PubEd, yes, for sure. But IR and internal security separately for GS. No? Not much difference. In fact, we can see PubEd as one of the sub part of PSIR, Indian government and politics. It is more vast for sure. Because more vast, that's why maximum linkages with GS. Even world history also, Cold War politics, world history is part of your paper 2. Any other question? Yes, Shivam. Yes, Shivam, you can speak. Yes, you are. If you can switch on your webcam, that will be a bit easy for me. No worries, you can go ahead. You can ask your doubt. Your voice is not clear, Shivam. Yes, Shivam. I few of your IGP classes will be taken by some other faculty. Rest of the syllabus will be handled by me. You do not have to worry. You will get the best of the content. ये छोटे मोटे fear निकाल दो दिमाग से. I'll make sure you get the best of the content. And 80% of the syllabus will be discussed by me. Okay? Raghu, classes will be in dictation mode. इसका क्या आंसर दूं? First, I'll make you understand, and then we'll make you dictate. Then you will reread what I have dictated, and then if you'll have any doubt, I'll take those doubts. Poonam, irrelevant question. How you manage time with GS and optional? अरे UPSC aspirants हो तुम लोग. सर सुबह पढ़ें रात पढ़ें ये क्वेश्चन थोड़ी ना पूछोगे। सर विच इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू स्टडी, डे और नाइट? इट्स चैलेंज, हु इज सेइंग इट्स नॉट, इट्स इजी, इट्स वेरी चैलेंजिंग, यू हैव टू सी ना कैसे मैनेज कर पा रही है ना। फॉर दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स यू कैन कॉन्टेक्ट मी सेपरेटली। आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू हैव माई नंबर, ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट। ड्यूरेशन कितनी अविनाश? इट विल बी 150 क्लासेस, नियर अबाउट 5 to 6 months, दिसंबर एंड। परफेक्ट। What is your background? So I will recommend you PSR for you, depending on your interest. Can you go for physics or math? So I have given you the idea about PSIR. You can think yourself whether this syllabus is of your interest or not. You have to take a call. What I can tell you is the nature of the syllabus, right? You can't go for physics and not even for maths for sure. Huh. No, I'm just asking. Can you think you can go for physics and maths? If not, you have to choose one. Attend others orientation too. I have given you the overview of the topics which we are going to discuss within this particular optional. So if this, you think this is of your interest, then you can think of PSIR as one of the options. Okay. Take time to finally decide your optional, but once you have decided, do not be more confused after that. Stick to that, whatever you will choose. ठीक है ना? ऐसे नहीं कि आज ये पढ़ा, 2 महीने बाद कुछ और पढ़ते हैं, फिर कुछ और। स्टिक करो। एटलीस्ट राइट वन मेंस with that optional. I'll recommend you that. After writing one mains, you will yourself you will have the realization whether you can score well in this or not. And if you will have this feeling, very serious feeling, uh, two types of feelings you will have after writing your mains. It's very difficult for you to understand this right now as you all are just starting your preparation. This thing you will able to better understand after writing your mains, that that you were not well prepared, and with a bit of more hard work you will able to score more. And another feeling, even if I do ample of hard work, I'm not going to score well, at least in this subject. So if you have a second kind of feeling, only then think of changing optional, otherwise not. ठीक है, ऑप्शनल नहीं चेंज करते। वो एस्पिरेंट वाली सीरीज तो देखी होगी सबने। ऑप्शनल इज लाइक गर्लफ्रेंड, जल्दी जल्दी स्विच नहीं करते, हाँ, टाइम देते हैं। Then, so you can attend others orientation, and then you can take your final call. No, there is there is nothing of this kind. Very less cramming is required. Lot of focus will be lot of in this subject. The way at least I teach, uh, you will able to relate lot of things. You do not have to cram much. Yes, you need to remember the name of few scholars. No one can deny that. Around 30% of cramming is required. Rest, I emphasize a lot on building understanding so that you can compile in your own language, and more marks you will fetch if you will write in your own language. Okay? So for online students, I'm sharing my number. You can just ask your doubt on WhatsApp. I will answer, though it can take some time. Okay? It's 9988 again 88 4432. Okay, 9988 88 4432. So let's end this session if you have no other further query. to ask for. Hanji. Yes. That you can ask from the office. This is what they have informed me. You can just ask from the office that is it for some for a period of time or the complete module will be there. Okay. Ha, I can understand. I can understand. So I can understand. I can understand. You are staying here. You are staying in Patel Nagar. You can just ask this thing. You know DP sir downstairs. You can just ask this thing from him. Okay. Done then. So you have my number. If you have any query, online students, you can ask. So I'm ending this session. Bye. Take care. Take a wise decision. Okay. Best of luck. Okay. Ji. See you then.